Hi guys, Ray here, City Fan TV. It's a little while since I've done one of these live streams after a game. City just beaten Luton Town by 6 goals to 2. You heard it right, 6 goals to 2 away from home in the FA Cup. I think that gets us to the quarterfinals or something last day, and we're through. So still defending our trophy, and what could and probably should have been a tough night of football ended up in the end pretty straightforward and a battering for a poor old Luton Town. Haaland scored 5. Yeah, you got it right, 5. KDB got 4 assists, and Darcy says, Darcy, he says the defense is rubbish. Come on, man, come on. We've just won by 6 goals to 2. Punny, hey, how you doing, Punny? City just won by 6 goals to 2, and you're being negative. To be honest, I was thinking to be a little bit negative about some aspects of what we did today, but we won 6-2. So overall, you got to be positive. I think Luton, the way Rob Edwards sets up, Luton basically played into City's hands. City are better man for man than Luton. You play in a man marking system. You're playing man marking system. You're gonna have trouble. You know how are you gonna mark Haaland? How are you gonna mark KDB man on man? You know, City have got the place to beat you. I think it was probably a bad setup from Rob Edwards. I don't see him going down this route again, because it just means that you beat your man. And that's it. And KDB had a field day with all those assists. He stayed on for the full 90. I mean, no extra time, no injury time, no extra time for the goals or anything. No added on time. Bang on 90 minutes. Whack. That's it. But Luton made it easy. I think the first goal after, was it 3 minutes or something? Yeah, that made it easy again. It opened up the game for us because they had to try, a little bit, but I think we were just battering them. Okay, they got a couple of good goals. Clark scored a cracking goal in the first half. End of first half, they got a goal early on in the second half, and you thought, oh no, we're going to wobble here. I mean, I was thinking back to that time we beat Spurs 4-3. We'd had was it Joey Barton sent off? We were 3-0 down at our time, away from home in the FA Cup. We come back to win 4-3. And that did, for probably a minute or two, enter my mind. I went, oh no! But we scored again pretty much straight away, and the game was done and dusted. And we got a couple more. Kovacic and scored a goal at the end. I think Krul could have done slightly better with the Kovacic one, with the Haaland one for his 5th, and probably with 1 or 2 more. I think he could have done a bit better, but we had a ton of chances. City had a ton of chances as well. We could have scored 10, but Luton could have scored 4 or 5. So it was that kind of game. It was pretty open. Yes, Darcy, I will put it up there. The defense is rubbish. I think, again, we were too lackadaisical, too, what's another good word for lackadaisical? Not lazy, too complacent. Yeah. With what we were doing at times. Too many of these flicks that don't come off and you look rubbish. But bottom line is we won through to the next round. Let's look at some of the comments. Darcy's that I'll take him. Yeah, it did. I think I'll take out a decent game overall. That bad pass, I probably not. The pass to him probably wasn't the best. So I don't know if it should have been a little bit ahead of him so he could move on to the ball. So he was trying to come from behind it, but it wasn't a good clearance. We still had chance. We still had chance to clear it, but one of these airy-fairy attempts at a flick, I don't know who it was. And Barkley played really well, flicked the ball through, and Clark scored his 2nd goal. Nothing that Ortega could do for that. Look, he made a couple of good saves as well. Give the guy credit. A couple of good saves as well. There's one that he got with fingertips too. I don't know how he got that header. Well, he got lucky with that header with Chong, because I think Barkley headed it and it hit Chong in the chest, and Ortega got that one. But look, if that had been a 4-9, if Luton had scored 4 goals and City had scored 10, you wouldn't have been surprised because there honestly were that many chances. We didn't have as much control as we normally do. Less than 60% possession, I think. But we had so many chances because I think, as I said earlier, that's the way Luton did it. Panini says Pep should have kept Haaland on so he could get double hat. Yeah, but look, to be honest, I think Pep left Haaland on longer than he would have intended to. Look, when they got back to 2-3, I thought Pep was happy because at 3-0, you're thinking 10, 15 minutes the second half, take your players off. 3-2, can't do that. But I think once Haaland had got, the fourth and the fifth, I think Pep left him on a little longer to see if he could get another one. But you've got to take the guy off. I mean, if Haaland had got injured chasing that 6th goal and he's out for 3 or 4 games, people would have lambasted Pep for not taking him off and not resting him. So I think he left him on for a little bit longer, but to see if he could score that 6th goal. But 15 minutes from the end, taking him off, yeah, I totally agree with that. I was actually very surprised KDB stayed on. KDB stayed on till the end. I would have thought he would have come off 10 or 15 minutes before the end because surely we want him to start against United. But hey, it is what it is. It was quite easy at the end for KDB. We were strolling around a bit. We looked fluid at times. We looked very good. But look, Luton were playing a poor system. They should have just let us have the ball and had a load of men behind the ball. But they played a poor system for them. And they got turned over badly. Lolita says it's great that we're scoring goals for fun, happy days. We need to build on the game derby coming up. Yeah, look, we scored the goals. Let's be honest. Luton, I said it time and time again, they set up badly. Man marking didn't work for them. And I think this is more of a bit of an aberration, maybe the wrong word, but it's a bit of a rogue result when you look at our last 3 results. 1-1 against Chelsea, 1-0 against Brentford, 1-0 against Bournemouth. So I think just the way Luton set up. A man says progress we must enjoy because of a must-win simply against Liverpool. Arsenal. Yeah, look, we've got a lot of must-win games coming up, man. But we're going to enjoy this. We've got to take the win for what it is. But yeah, don't get carried away. Ivan says, finally, the monster is back. Well, there were easy goals. A couple of them, I think the goal he should have saved. But hey, all you can do is put them in the back of the net, which is what he did. I'll say it was, looking at the lineup, let's have a quick look at that. It was interesting. Alvarez on the bench again. Jack was starting. Jack, I think, got injured because he got pulled off after about 38, 40 minutes or whatever. And I don't think that was tactical because we were winning 2-0 at the time. So I think he came off when we were winning 2-0. So I think that was injury. He looked a little bit upset for a few minutes. Maybe he's injured again. We'll wait to see. Obviously, Pep will tell us something in the press conference. Núñez and Kovacic started. I think that's a rarity. It's good to see we could win a game without Rodri. I think Núñez in particular had a pretty good game. And he's got a bit more pace than I thought, and certainly probably a lot of you guys thought. So Núñez, I think, had a decent game. Kovacic had a decent game. He scored a goal, but it was, playing that Rodri kind of role. Yeah. We'll wait and see. Look, I'm not going over the top. I'm not, look, I'm happy. Obviously, I'm happy, but I'm not going to go over the top because of the way Luton set up and the way they played. Very, very open. Ortega made some good saves. Yeah, he did that big faux pas for their second goal, but it's a team game. Other players, people will pick on the Ortega mistake, and rightly so. It was poor kick out, but we had opportunities to make up for it. And if someone had cleared the ball when they had a chance, and Ortega, that mistake doesn't lead to a goal, he doesn't get lambasted as badly as he is going to be probably lambasted by people saying, oh, he's not good enough, and he's not a great number 2, or he's never get number 1 over Edison. But he's a cracking keeper. And mistakes occasionally do happen. Hey, what's that, Spursy Mikel? How you doing? Love Arsenal free. All right. Long time. Yeah, I've not done a lot of live stream. I've been in on tour over in Ireland with my shows, and where I'm staying, internet is terrible. Their internet is really slow. I use my phone. It's not great connection. Middle of nowhere. Your neighbours are cows, basically. You're in the sticks, so it's not been great. In uploading videos, I tell you what, if the internet is not good, and even on your phone, I've had videos that are taken all day to upload. You can't work like that. I did a video with Bernard, because on that day, whatever the connection was so poor, I had to have Bernard down as as a tiny little icon. On the small screen, Bernard was. Another time we did a video together, and the connection was great. So it's just look at the draw. So it's I was reluctant to do things like live streams because it was so terrible connection. Now I'm back home. I can do that. I'm going to go to Derby at weekend. I've got people wanting me to go and do some work for them, but I want to go to the Derby. I want to go to the Derby. People offering you a fair chunk of money to come and do some work, but no, I want to go to Derby. Punny says, I don't like less possession if it's effective. Look, if teams play open against us, like Luton did, then we can run through them, rip them apart. Yeah, Nunes is improving. Look, he needs time. He's hardly ever played. Give him some games and he'll do the business. I can't see Kovacic getting man of the match. You've got KDB with 4 assists. You've got Haaland with 5 goals. I think the man of the match will come out of one of those two. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Kovacic had a pretty decent game, but he's not getting man of the match. Oh, yeah, look, I agree, Penny. 5 goals from Haaland. He's going to be in a good mood. He's a slight negative, but they weren't all great finishes. The first one, he hit into the ground. He had one that went through Krul's legs. I think Krul could have saved possibly a couple of them. But hey, if he walks away with confidence, that's obviously a positive to take away from the game. But just remember that when it comes to Derby, let's see if we can score that first goal early again. Then the game changes in our favour. Adam, how are you doing, buddy? Yep, good evening. City won, as I said earlier, by 6-2 away at Luton Town in the FA Cup. We roll on. I think we're in the quarterfinals now. I'm not paying too much attention. Well, I've been so busy. It's hard to pay too much attention to footy at the moment, but trying to watch whenever I can. I'm back, as I said, I'm back on tour in a couple of weeks. So on tour, you work weekends, you don't get a chance to watch football. And for the weekends coming up, I'm just looking at my timetable. I'm over there for St. Patrick's Day weekend, so that's going to be nice over in Ireland. That's going to be interesting. I'm not working on St. Patrick's Day, so that's going to be interesting to see what the crack's all about. Having said that, if someone comes and offers me a gig on that day, I'm taking it. I'm not going to turn money down. So yeah, we got coming up the 2 big games. Obviously, we got United this Sunday, Copenhagen in midweek, and then Liverpool, a big one, away from home on Sunday the 10th, and Brighton on the 17th, which is that Sunday where at the moment I'm not working. It'd be nice just to do a parade around lunchtime and then get back and watch the footy. And then the Arsenal game, yeah, I'm away. I'm away a lot because it's Easter. I'm on tour, so I missed the Arsenal game. I'm away. The Villa game a few days later. I'm away down in southwest England on for that one, so I'm going to miss that on the 3rd, and whatever date that is, 3rd of April. The Palace game on the 6th. I'm away for that. The game against Luton on the 13th. Actually, it's quite interesting. On the 13th, where we're playing Luton away from home in the footy. Are we playing at home? Let me just double check. We're playing Luton in the footy at home. I'm actually going to be in Luton that day. Got a gig, so I'm going to miss that. Spurs on the 20th. I'm in Athens. The Science Festival there. I'm going to miss that game. Wow, I'm going to miss I'm away for so many games, basically. So I'm just having a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to miss 6 games. And then there's going to be another, I think, an FA Cup game in there as well. So I'm going to miss a ton of games. I'm gutted. I'm gutted. That's another reason I really want to go to Derby, because I've not got many games coming up after that. Panizzi sometimes playing, you just need one touch match to bounce. But yeah, look, I hope he bounces back. I hope he doesn't miss a few. I hope he doesn't have a bad run after this game. It can happen that you can have a bad run after a good performance. Look at Doku. Jeremy Doku scored one and had 4 assists against Bournemouth as we beat them 6-1. And I don't believe he's had a goal or an assist since. Okay, he's missed about 3-4 weeks of the season, with injury, but I don't think he's had a goal or an assist since that goal and 4 assists against Bournemouth. He's not looked terribly good, actually, most of the time. A couple of games he's flattered to deceive, and even today, he come on when we were winning 2-0. He should have been absolutely terrorizing his defender, and I don't think he really did. I think to be honest, I think it was another poor show from him. The big shows tonight, Bernardo was okay. He was a bit okay, but the big shows, obviously, Haaland scored 5. KDB got 4 assists. Kovacic, I think, had a decent game. Nunes had a decent game. Johnny Stones had a very decent game. I think Aki was all right. Who else had a decent game? Obviously, KDB and Haaland, I've said. Grealish didn't do much for me. Doku didn't do much for me. And the kids that come at the end, you can't really have a go at them. Walker, a couple of times he let, was it Doughty, put crosses in, dangerous ones. He was a bit up and down for me, out of position a couple of times, which I've said it before. Against better opposition, you get punished. Hey, Ivan, thank you. And Doku needs to learn when to release. He was very good early in the season. Hey, Harris, long time no see. Absolutely. As I said earlier, I've been away over in Ireland a lot working. So I think I've done, this is my second live stream in about a month. I've not been doing too many live streams for a start. 25. Yeah, thanks, Faris. Yeah, 25k. The funny thing is, I got a lot of people subscribing, but they don't watch. I've noticed the last couple of videos I've done, not a lot of people watching, because if you don't do putting out any content for a few weeks, or very little content, instead of putting content out every day, you put very little out, then people are not gonna, I think YouTube channels and other social media, if you're quickly forgotten because people move on to the next thing. So I've got to keep putting content out, but I'll do that now that I'm back in England, back at home for a couple of weeks. But then I'm pretty much away for about 5-6 weeks. So I think I'll go on the 13th of March. I go away, and I'll be back sporadically at home, but a lot of stuff is, I'll be coming and going. Some gigs I'm going to be able to go, it's like the 2 or 3 hours away, so they're not too far. I can drive there, do the gig, drive back. I'll be tired, but I can do that. But there'll be some where I obviously said away. Yeah, look, Faris, you get a lot, but I think the thing is, as I said, if you don't put content out, people drift away, and some of the content, if you win games easily, I don't think you get a lot of people. People like controversy. They like talking about, they like some of the chat about finances, transfers. Those are the 2 big ones. You tend not to get too many on the actual games themselves. Great win. Well, what have we heard what the injury was? I didn't know what the injury was. I didn't know. When he let the ball run through his legs. When it ran through his legs, I thought someone else was injured, someone else on the pitch. I didn't know it was him. Look, I wasn't happy about that. I wasn't happy because when we made all those substitutions, when we took Haaland off after 75 minutes, I thought Haaland had stayed on too long. And then I thought KDB should have come off. I didn't see the point of KDB playing the full 90. There was no benefit. Or the only benefit was that he played the full 90. He showed that he could do that. But I don't think you needed that. 75 minutes was enough. 75 minutes was enough, saving for Saturday. I don't think KDB is in that position where you want to risk him. He's just come back from injury, from a very, very long injury break. And then he's taken another little couple of game breaks where he didn't start because of a niggle. So I'm really surprised he played the 90. For me, 60 to 75 minutes was enough. When you're winning 5-2, that's it. You don't need Haaland on anymore. Take him off, put on whoever you want, switch it around just a little bit. But I don't see why KDB and Haaland needed to be on that pitch a minute longer, because there are a few City players that are irreplaceable. There's no one to replace Haaland. There's no one to replace KDB. There's no one to replace Rodri. Not properly. Okay? Anybody you put in to replace any of those three players, they don't match up. You can replace Walker, Stones, Diaz, Aki, Gvardiol, and still get a decent replacement. Maybe not the same as quality, but it's decent enough. But there's no one who fits Rodri's position, KDB's position, or Haaland. There's no one close to it. Whereas other positions you can chop and change, and you'll get someone close. You can play Núñez out on the left, and you wouldn't worry about him. Or you can play Doku, or you can play Grealish. You've got options, but there's no one to replace KDB doing what he does. No, so I was surprised that KDB stayed on. I don't know, because I've not seen Pep's press conference because I come on straight away. So it's a groin injury. It's the same one which is completely joke. The thing is, Faris, here's the thing, okay? I'm speaking, okay, I'll speak from personal experience, okay? Here we go. I had about a month ago, I just started training again, okay? Just started going to athletics. I'd done 3 or 4 sessions. I was going with my lad, and I was doing all right. I was enjoying it. Wasn't having too much pain. I've got a lot of problems with my Achilles, and I wasn't having any problems with my Achilles. It was great. The one training session, it was a tough training session. We were basically, I can't remember what we were doing. Was it 300 meters? And you do 300 meters, and then you do 100 meters walk or jog, then 300 meters again. But the idea was you picking it up, getting faster and faster. And we'd done, I think, 3 or 4 of these runs already. So you've done, obviously, athletics club. You do the proper training, proper warm up, and I'd done already 3 or 4 of these runs. So my body was warm. Doing a jog, my calf went, and it wasn't terrible, but I felt it, and that was it. No, I couldn't do any more, and I was gutted because I'd run that day, 3 or 4 kilometers already. So my body's warm, but my calf just a little bit like that. So I left it for a couple of weeks. I did a run last week, only a couple of miles, not even that, and my Achilles were killing me after that. It was on a Saturday, so it was not this Saturday, it was a Saturday before. So it's over a week ago, about 10 days ago. And my Achilles were killing me the day after, which so frustrating, okay? And so frustrating. So then I've rested. My calf was fine. It was my Achilles. So I've rested, no problems, no effects. And then I was in the gym doing some rowing a couple of days ago. I'd done some rowing at home. I'm only doing short bursts because I'm not fit enough. So I did 3 minutes at home. That's it. 3 minutes on the row machine in the morning at home, but quite reasonably fast. But I changed my style to push off harder with my legs. Okay, I was in the gym doing some weights, and I just wanted to do a couple of minutes rowing. the same thing. And I was doing this, and after about a minute and a half, minute and 3/4, I could just feel my calf go. So, long story, but it's the same thing. I thought I was fit. I'd been working, done a couple of about 3 or 4 sessions on the rowing machine over the last 10 days. No problems. You think you're all right, and suddenly, bang, from nothing, Achilles. Sorry, your calf goes again. So it'll be the same with Jack. He's done his training, he's back, and everybody thinks he's fit, and also he's desperate to play. He's desperate to get back and have a chance. Everybody thinks he's fit. You think there's no problem. He'll have been checked out, and I just think it's unfortunate to have the same. If it's the same injury, it is really, really unfortunate. But as I said, my calf was fine. I'd rested it, and I'd gone through a few sessions, no problems, and suddenly, bang, out of nowhere, I can feel it now. I'm just touching my calf, and it's hurting. It's sore. So it happens. Anyway, let's go back to the next question. I agree on City being underwhelming when it comes to performances, and despite our form, I think we're struggling. People obviously going to have a go if you say City struggling, because hey, hang on, we've had 2 draws in 15 games or 16 games, whatever. We won 14 and drew 1 at 15 games. That's struggling. Yes, performance-wise, it is. Suddenly we found Liverpool and Arsenal have shot ahead in goal difference. We drew 1-1 with Chelsea, scraped some against Brentford, scraped some against Bournemouth. Luton tonight, they set up badly, which has allowed us to batter them. But at 3-2, we're winning 3-0, they come back to 3-2. You are worried. I dare anybody to honestly say that at 3-2, they weren't worried. Because anybody who says they weren't worried, I don't believe them. I don't believe them at all. I think that they're being dishonest to say, you're winning 3-0, the team come back and it's, 3-2, and there's still, 35, 40 minutes to go. If you're not worried, you're not telling the truth. So underwhelming performances, but here's the thing, and this is what bugs me, the way we're playing. Liverpool and Arsenal are going for it. Okay, they're going for it. And because they're so much better than teams, they're blasted through them at the moment. They're going for it. It doesn't matter if the other team score, they're going to score 3, 4, 5. Okay? And we're just tippy-tapping it, passing it around nice and slow. We're taking it casual, and we're leaving teams in games for a long time, and then that's putting pressure on us. And if they nick a goal, which we're defending, generally the teams are nicking goals against us, then we have to score, 2 or 3 when we tippy-tapping it around. If we score that early first goal, then yes, I think we can smash teams because they've got to open up a little bit, play a little bit different. They can't put everybody behind the ball. But we've seen when we move the ball quickly, we batter teams. We've got that capacity to rip them apart, because when you're playing at our level, at pace, you're not giving teams a chance to set themselves. You're not giving them a chance to recover. The players have to think faster and move faster and do faster. And when you're having to think faster, there's more chance of making a mistake. But we're not putting them under enough pressure to make them do that. That's a concern for me, because when we charge at teams, we batter them. And we haven't, as Bernard said to me last week, we haven't beaten anybody else, I think, in the top 5. That's a concern. I think we've got 5 games against teams in the top 5 in the next 7 games or something. We've got United, or they're not in the top 5, but we've got Liverpool. And we've got some tough games coming up. Obviously, we've got United, Liverpool, Brighton are up there, Arsenal are there, Villa are there. That's our next 5 league games. United, Liverpool, Brighton, Arsenal, Villa. Then we've got Palace. We'll see what the new manager does. We've got Palace and Luton. Then you've got Spurs away, Forest away, Wolves at home when you get into me. That's not going to be easy. You got Fulham away. And fortunately, I think you got West Ham at home, who are up and down. But I think, we go back to the 2014 season, was it? Where we beat West Ham 2-0 at home, last game of the season, to win the league. I think I'm right there. So I'd like to think we're in if we're top of the table before we play West Ham, then we'll be top of the table after we play West Ham. I don't think there's any question about that. Right, guys, I've been on for half an hour. It's 10:30. I'm going to go to bed because, let's be honest, Sunday I drove back from Northern Ireland and I was knackered, and I've done a lot of driving. I don't want to, I think in the last 7 months I've done 25,000 miles. So that's in the car I've got. That's not in any hire cars or whatever. So that's a fair. I had a hire car as well while we were in France. So I've done a fair few miles and a lot of long hours. When there was one day last week where I drove to Southwest Ireland, 4.5 hours drive to get there, full day of work, and then about 7 hours to get home because I was tired and you need a few stops and stuff like that. But I was basically I was up at 3, on the road at 4:30, back at 10. I was knackered. And then the next day I had to go and do some more. I had to go and do some shows the next day, so I'm knackered. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for joining us. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. Give us a thumbs up. Always nice to get those likes, guys. And hopefully I'll speak to Bernard tomorrow and do our day after review with him. I think he might be in a jolly mood as well. Take care, guys. We'll see you around Blues.